why more Americans are making hardship withdrawals from their retirement accounts.
For a growing number of Americans, retirement accounts are doing double duty. Savings for the future when they're no longer working, and as a source for emergency funds for the here and now when they feel a cash crunch. In many ways, it's a reflection of the dueling forces in the U.S. economy. A strong stock market is growing retirement accounts, while stubborn inflation is keeping prices high.
Pause. Zach, how old is this? Oh, this is this year. Stubborn inflation 7 months ago?
People still feel consumer prices are high. They still do.
Okay, well, no, I mean, okay, so this isn't 2021. All right.
Still do.
All right, play.
Everything from groceries to gasoline.
Ooh.
We asked viewers who've tapped into their retirement accounts to tell us why they did it.
My name is Hannah Empey. I am currently unemployed, and I live in Pennsylvania. The second that the meeting was over with HR and my former boss, I went to withdraw my entire 403B account. I was able to make that withdrawal and had the money in 3 days, and it was a lifesaver for me because it would take 3 months for my unemployment to get approved.
I'm Jim Citrick. I've lived in Maine.
So it's very interesting that this is about hardship withdrawals because that person did not take a hardship withdrawal. They had a distributable event. It's not the same thing. I understand that person is undergoing a hardship. Sorry, we're compliance, okay? I understand that person is undergoing a hardship, but that person did not take an in-service distribution. That person did not take a hardship withdrawal, okay? That person had a distributable event. And is not, and that I was wondering if we're going to be talking about why there's so many more hardship withdrawals because Secure 2.0 has basically opened up the floodgates for them, okay? But that person did not take a distribution that was affected in any way by Secure 2.0. The person is no longer working there. They get to take out their entire account balance.
Yeah.
What?
No, the taxes will eventually be done right.
Well, yeah,
So
no, I mean,
been 20% withholding.
done. That person was going to have 20%. She didn't say she didn't. It's a taxable
Yeah,
distribution.
but she thought it was a hardship distribution. She said that.
Did she say it was
She
hardship?
said that. I thought.
I don't remember, okay? But she's based on looks, I'm guessing she's younger than 59 and a half. I'm guessing she's not working. She got let go before 55 years old, 10% excise tax, and 20% minimum withholding. So, and then who knows what the state is. All right, so now we have somebody else. He's lived in Maine, all right? So what's going on with this gentleman
let
here?
it roll.
In Maine, where I am now, for about almost 3 years. 8 months ago, I began suffering from some medical difficulties, some situations that led me to start missing more work than I would like, and ended up with me being hospitalized for several weeks as a consequence of having no income and needing to continue with our health insurance that I needed to then pay for out of pocket. I had to dip into the savings I had in my thrift savings plan.
That made me start.
Pause. Once again, is that a hardship distribution?
No, that's...
So Zach, who's calling this? Are you calling it a hardship withdrawal, or did PBS call it? So PBS has referred to it as a hardship withdrawal. Okay, and
the theory you're having
you've
a hard
got
time,
okay.
you need
So if
money.
you have to pay, but he's using it to pay his health insurance premium, not to pay his medical expenses. Okay, not a hardship distribution. He might be eligible for an in-service distribution, and even with all
There's still rules on hardship.
there's still rules on the rules on what has changed on hardship is there's still a finite number of specific ones. I can't remember if it's 6 or 7. Okay.
Still 6.
Is it still 6? Okay. What has changed is that the employee gets to self-certify now. The plan sponsor is no longer responsible for making sure that it is an actual eligible hardship distribution. All right. Now this person may be eligible for an in-service distribution, but paying for your medical premiums, okay, is not a hardship reason. You're supposed to be paying for medical expenses that are in excess of 7.5% of your adjusted gross income or something like that. It's a large number.
So 2 so far have really not been hardship distributions. Let's see what
Per
this
our
one is.
definition. So let's keep going here.
Okay.
Live in Colorado. In 36 months, I had to, let's see, a nice word they like to use is pivot. I had to pivot my plans and go from retiring early, modestly, just trying to be well for the rest of my life, to I have to spend everything for the new housing price. The price of these homes, a 20% deposit, is 6 figures. Cash you got to come up with. So that was a lot of savings I had in my 401k. Boom. I cashed it out in order to get into the house.
Times are hard right now, so I don't feel.
Okay.
So these are people taking distributions
These
from
are
their
people
accounts
taking-
who are having a hard time, but they're not hardship.
But they're not hardship withdrawals. Okay, I'm not trying to be rude with these people, but so it's very interesting the PBS calls at this. And I'm pretty sure we've done a video on how bad it is to take money out of your 401k plan to buy a house with taxable payments. But anyways, all right, let's keep going.
Any shame in what I had to do to make ends meet.
Of course
I
not.
really did consider what alternatives there would be to taking money out of my thrift savings plan. And the only one that I was not either embarrassed about or unwilling to do was take out money that I had saved myself.
The nest egg is for later, but it's like, oh no, we're using it now in our mid-50s instead of in our 70s.
I was raised by my grandparents, and I've seen what retirement.
It's kind of funny that 2 of the 3 mentioned embarrassment, and that's not a subject we've ever come up with or talked about, and I've never knew that anybody would have a consideration that
So when you
be
take
feeling
a
embarrassed at taking
distribution-
money out of your plan to keep living.
So to do a distribution, I mean, basically you fill out a form and give it to your HR person or do it
Right.
online and your HR person approves it or the trustee. But I
Yeah.
mean, it's not like a long tribunal of
No.
people who are going to judge you.
So
I'm
the
just
plan
saying,
has
I can
specific
see where you
reasons.
have feelings about it, but I was just saying, don't feel shame. Just make a good decision.
Make good choices. Yeah, and then because of the way the retirement plans are written, it's a fact-based thing. It's not an emotion-based thing, all right? And we hear about hardship withdrawals. There's a lot of emotion in that, all right? But the way the retirement plans are that we deal with, it's a fact-based situation. If these facts are true, you're eligible for distribution. Some of it or all of it, depending on what the facts are. So
Okay.
let's keep going a little bit more.
Looks like when there isn't a fallback plan, when it's just Social Security.
I most likely will not be able to retire, period. That I will continue to work until I'm no longer physically capable of doing so.
The investment firm Vanguard Group says last year there were early withdrawals from a record 3.6% of the 5 million retirement accounts it administers.
Okay.
That's up from 2.8% in 2022,
I wonder what
and above the pre-pandemic average of about 2%.
So what this is a video about is substantial inflation for a number of people. One person was let go, all right? And people having to turn to their retirement plans to take care of current needs, not use them for retirement savings. At least 2 of them are going to be working for a lot longer before they can even consider retiring. So this is the opposite of fire. Okay, I don't know what the opposite of fire is.
Water.
Water. Well, I know, but I could. So when Zach saw this video, he's like, "Oh, this is interesting. We're talking about hardship withdrawals." And he starts watching. You're like, "No, this is about leakage." Okay, all 3 of these people, again, we're talking about the facts and circumstances set up inside or in governing ERISA plans. All right, I am not trying to downplay anybody's specific situation or pain. I'm talking about what's going on, what's supposed to be going on in general with retirement plans, and what people need to be aware of. All right, and while all 3 of these situations were definitely they were very difficult for the people involved, they are not hardship distributions from an ERISA or from a retirement plan point of view. So if somebody were to watch the PBS video and then go to their HR and say, "I want a hardship distribution because of this," HR is going to say no. Okay, because it's not a hardship. You need to look to see if you're possibly eligible for another kind of in-service distribution. We misspoke. The person buying the house, that is a hardship distribution.
To
can
buy
be
a house or just to get a loan? What?
no, to purchase your primary residence. If you have another you can
That was
use
to get a loan, not to do a hardship, right?
Purchasing a primary residence is a hardship distribution option. But if she's talking about a 6-figure down payment, that's at least $100,000. All right, and if she's got that much in her plan, she could have borrowed 50 grand. Okay, unless the 100,000 was the whole thing. Okay, but people are generally much better off borrowing instead of taking the money out, because every single one of them, the distributions are subject to ordinary income. Some of them are subject to 10% excise tax, and then of course you've got the leakage and the fact that their retirement accounts years down the road are going to be that much further behind.
Right, that's really what the whole leakage thing is, that you just have less money for later on. So yeah, different reasons to make different financial decisions. Some people would say it's great that you actually had available cash in order to do it, right?
Yes.
So they're of different age groups, so it has different effects. But having to buy a high-priced house in a market is, I don't know if that's
All right, so hope you enjoyed this video, and hope you enjoyed us rambling about it, because Zach likes to show us these things without us knowing anything about them beforehand. That's his whole point for getting out of bed in the morning, all right? So this is Christopher and Katherine, your favorite 401 couple. You know what to do. This is your call to action. Like, subscribe, tell your friends and neighbors about us, but most importantly, please don't forget to keep those cards and letters coming.
Toodaloo.